Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video. Today I am taking a short break from casting Dark Rituals and Doomsdays, and I am going to be casting some Dragon's Rage Channelers and Murktide Regents. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Blue-Red Delver. I saw this list online from MTGO user Pikachu, I think. I want to give credit where credit's due. The people have been experimenting with blue red lately, and I kind of dig that. I kind of like being a little bit, I think, more straight to the point, not messing around with black, getting the utility of bolt and the sort of velocity of bolt as well, and Dragon's Rage Chandler. I added a couple of predicts because I love that card, and I think it is reasonable to play with all of these enablers. We have one counterbalance, we have 4 baubles, we have 4 DRC, we have Thundering Falls, which means every fetch land can help set up a predict. So I think it's reasonable, and I think when expressive iteration was banned, there was a lot of experimenting about what would Blue Red Delver replace as its draw engine, and Predict was certainly one of the cards to try it out. And I don't think it ever really worked. I don't think you have to remember the old Blue Red Delver played I think what's the name of the land, Mystic Sanctuary, and had as sort of a late game plan just to like completely destroy your opponents by dazing your, like triggering Mystic Sanctuary, putting back expressive iteration, drawing to, like dazing something just to pick up the Mystic Sanctuary and loop the iterations. And that's not, like, predict doesn't fit, I think, as a 4 of. It's much too clunky then. But I think a 2 or even a 3 of is worth at least exploring, because it doesn't mean you can start to like accrue genuine card advantage, which is really nice. The way that Grixis Delver and a blue black sort of Scaminator or whatever accrues card advantage is, I think, like Bowmasters is, technically card advantage. You, especially if you can kill something, you then, for the price of 1 card, you get 2 1/1s and you kill one of their things, and that's great. And also, of course, it has sort of a static disruption ability. So not having Bowmasters is certainly not sort of free or great or anything, but there are just also a lot of decks against which Bowmasters is kind of weak and unimpressive. Like all the Savannah decks out there don't really care that much about Bowmasters. At that point, it becomes a little bit of a liability, I think. And I'm just really interested in what Red has to offer here, and I especially am stoked to play Price of Progress. In the list I saw, they were playing Blood Moon, and I think those 2 cards kind of punish the same decks. But I just really like being more like like the thing with Price of Progress is you can sometimes get to a point where you top deck it and it immediately wins you the game. Where if you top deck a Blood Moon at that point, it might be you might be too far behind. Like, it's great. You Blood Moon the land's opponent, but if they already have like 3 construct tokens that are all like 5/5s or whatever, then it's not gonna do enough. Plus, I love I love the ability to draw games. I think it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Other than that, we're respecting the graveyard decks. We have a little bit more interaction for combo, which we should be somewhat decently set up to fight against anyways. An extra borrower to bring in where we need to like be bouncing prison pieces or merit lodges or whatever. And yeah, some meltdowns. I like this sideboard. I like the look of this list. The things I'm most unsure about are the predicts and the counterbalance. The list I saw had 2 counterbalance in the main deck. I don't really like counterbalance that much, but I'm playing 1. I feel like for every time it's good, there are like more times that it's not good. Ever since it lost its faithful companion in Sensei's Divining Top, and I don't think playing it in the tempo deck, like you don't ever, I don't think you want to be like tapping out turn 2 to play a counterbalance very often. I think you'd rather do something else. But I do like the fact that it can be like surveilled to enable a faster DRC Delirium. The flip side of that is it doesn't flip Delver, and I think this deck, I think that's something that has been a problem for Delver since DRC, because DRC sort of pushes you to put other card types in the deck, and we were playing baubles, and with the baubles and the counterbalance, like I think in old times these 5 cards would have been an instant or a sorcery, and that means that we go from being like more than half of the deck, or at least once you've drawn your 7 cards, more than half. I guess that doesn't really work to okay, slightly less than half. Like right now, I think I counted it to be 24 instants and sorceries in this list, and if we had 5, it would be 29, and that would be like really really nice and almost half of the deck. But 24 is kind of low. Let me just count here. So 4, 8, 12, 13 plus 6. That's 17 plus 5. That's 22. I feel like did I miscount? I feel like I got it to 24 when I was counting earlier. Yeah, no, I did miscount. It is I somehow made a miscalculation. This is 24. So 24 it could have been 29. And that's just not free when Delver of Secrets is in your deck. But okay, I think that will do for the deck tech. I'm gonna go ahead and try and jump into a league. On the play for round number 1, yeah, let's go. Yeah, Delver hand, doing Delver things. Immediately get to DRC here and trigger it with the bauble. I'm gonna bauble my opponent and oops, hopefully the DRC draws like, or the surveil the bauble trigger will draw us a Force of Will or a Daze. That would be great. Ooh, predict, I'll take that. That means I probably don't trigger, I don't yeah, I'm gonna use the bauble on their upkeep in case it's like they discard us. All right, let's see what they'll be drawing for turn. Brainstorm, huh? So it's a brainstorm deck. That narrows it down. Maybe it's a Delver Mirror or of sorts. And we draw the predict and draw for turn. I think we just deploy the delta and attack here. When casting predict, there is a very real chance of, well, if there's a sorcery or a creature on top of the deck, we could get Delirium here. But I am a little bit interested in having them act first here. Although maybe I shouldn't be, because if they remove the DRC here, yeah, if they remove the DRC, it's fine. We still get the trigger. So they need to counter the daze or the predict, and if they do that, then you know they do that. That's it will have to be a force or a daze most likely. And I will leave Wasteland on top. Oh, I just get a nice little 2-for-1 here. Didn't trigger the or didn't achieve Delirium, but that's okay. We drew another Wasteland though. I'm not sure how good that's going to be. Okay. This this Brainstorm Volcanic Island deck, not having played a creature so far, makes me think it might be like Show and Tell, which I'm not looking, like my hand is not looking too hot fighting, and you know, chipping away card advantage with predict is also like not the game you want to be playing. You want specific cards if it is a combo deck, but we'll see. Could still be could be a Delver, could be even be like a Beanstalk deck. Who knows? The Volcanic Island was played, not fetched, so it might just be like okay. Second Volcanic makes me think it's okay. So it's a Delver deck. It's a yeah. That is faux show. So what would be nice here? I think I would like to ponder and see if I can find another creature. I mean, I have the Murktide, but I value that like really highly. Oh, should we try and like cheese them with all these wastelands? I think I like that. I'm gonna draw the Force of Will here, and like we can waste this volcanic plus another land if they have it, and we are very wasteland resilient ourselves. And then once the dust settles, we can like play a Murktide. Um, I think I let them have this DRC, and I am gonna try and cheese them here. They're floating mana. I'm gonna pass. They cast Brainstorm. I'm gonna. I think I just let that happen, and if we're lucky, they didn't find another land, and otherwise, this wasteland strategy has been a little bit of a ponder. So they're just flaying through the deck. Ugh, I'm almost tempted to force this ponder. Maybe I'm gonna brainstorm see if I can hit a daze here. I don't hit daze. It's close. Close, close, close. Is this really... I mean, I feel like I have a choice here, right? I can force this ponder, and that might just break their back. Or I can choose not to do that, and then like maybe I just die a couple of turns from now with this force in my hand. No, I think I'm gonna let this ponder resolve, and then I'm going to probably like cast a Murktide next turn, and like hopefully, or maybe I'll need the force to get that through. No shuffle. They found a land, so I can make a 6/6 Murktide right now, which is not as big as it could be. I think I actually brainstorm again here. Yeah, and just hold off my plans. Okay, so let's put away the Thundering Falls, and I guess like basic island. And I'm gonna deploy my DRC here, and I will, I think, fetch away. Just get another. Maybe I get like a basic island here actually, and let's let's put this ponder on top, and let's see what they're drawing. That way we have double force. Don't think it's gonna be necessary. Okay, so they have another bolt. I think that's okay. We can like they can bolt our DRC. They brainstorm first, huh? And they like what they saw. All right, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna bolt our DRC, and then I'm gonna make a right now it's gonna be like a 7/7 Murktide, right? And then we'll take it from there. Maybe like maybe that we'll get to cheese them with Wasteland anyways. They've not made a land drop yet. I also still don't know if this is the mirror or if it's Grixis that just has not fetched out black mana yet. Uh, these wastelands I fired off earlier are now looking kind of embarrassing. This is the fourth volcanic, so I'm pretty sure what it is, and it's not Grixis. Okay, my DRC is dead. I think I ponder here to grow my coming DRC. Oh, sorry, Murktide. Oh, and that's actually kind of nice. Another Murktide, huh? So maybe I don't make this one as big as I could. So if I make this a 5/5, sorry, a 6/6, then next turn I can make another 5/5 and then make this one an 8/8. Potentially more if I'm like, yeah, if I'm casting more spells. Let's bobble you. Another land. I wonder if I'm better off not wasting then. Wasting, like not wasting means I don't lose like a daze if they have like a Brazen Borrower or something. Plus days. Okay, so they do fetch it away. So now, does that change? Now I think that actually does mean I'm going to waste because now I can daze a Brazen Bar with like a Petty Theft. If they were to draw it. I can daze a Murktide. I think they're paying for Murktide now. I could be wrong. And I wonder if they're going to take this off Delirium sort of deliberately to not. Because otherwise they're just going to, they're forced to attack here and it's my Murktide Regent's just going to gobble it up. But let's see. Yeah, they took it off Delirium. I am going to snap off this daze here. And I will also, I think, force if they force, which looks like they're... Oh, they're dazing. Oh, bummer. Okay. Wait, so how big is this? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is a... It's going to be a 7/7. My big Murktide here is going to next turn be, with my daze, it's going to be a 9/9. And I'm going to have another 6/6. Okay, daze is countered. So I do think I force here. Yeah. And if they force back, then like that's okay. They didn't. I think that seems pretty good for us. We shall see. I could also just like try and protect my Murktide here with force now, but I think it is just correct to sort of step on the gas here, and I'll have them dead in my next turn. Yeah, they concede. Sweet. All right, cool. Oh, the mirror match. So I think like blasts are interesting for sure. I think price of progress is somewhat interesting. Maybe just one. I don't know. And I don't know about Brazen Borrower. And I think we can certainly board out Force of Negation. It's unclear to me if I want stuff like Counterbalance. Probably. Like, it feels like if you stick a Counterbalance, you're going to be countering at least some number of 1-drops. I think some number of Force of Wills can go. Maybe all of them. I don't know. We're like boarding in all these blasts that can kind of fill the same role. I'm on the draw, so I think some number of dazes can go. I don't know if this is unreasonable. I'm, as you may be able to tell, not the most sort of experienced Delver / tempo player. I think I'll board out. I'll probably board out third daze over third force. Is there anything obvious I'm missing here? I don't think so. Like, I don't know if like 0, 1, or 2 copies of Price of Progress should be in my deck post sideboard. So I'm going with 1. And so I'm keeping 1 Brazen Borrower in, but not bringing in the second one. Like, that's obviously, it's a fine card. It can bounce Murktide, but we already have, like, we have 1 and we have 3 blasts. We have our own Murktides. maybe we do want. All right, screw it. Actually going to go 0 days post sideboard and bring in a second Brazen Borrower. Okay, I'll keep this. It has a turn 1 threat and Wasteland and a bunch of cantrips. Basic Island, fine. I think it always feels, at least feels better when your Delver opponent or Tempo opponent leads on a turn 1 Ponder rather than a turn 1 threat. I'm also curious how much of a, like, how big of a deal it ended up being that I used those Wastelands. We did get to, like, Days a Murktide. I think I just fire off one Bauble here to see. Yeah, they chose not to shuffle, so I'm gonna see what they're drawing. Brainstorm. Okay, I could have used the Bauble. I could have used the Bauble to help trigger or flip my own Delver, but like the second Bauble or the yeah. Oh, this has red or green rather. Okay, there's a counterbalance. This is likely the Jujubin Delver of Secret stack. Flooded Strand doesn't flip. Okay. So I'm gonna cast Bauble. If they have a land on top, then that will counter it. They choose not to use counterbalance trigger. I'm gonna see what's on top. It's a DRC. So they made their tropical island here, either because they are like saving a volcanic island in their hand to not get wastelanded, or it's because they don't have a second land or a third land rather. I think I am gonna try and bet on the second thing being true, and I'm gonna wasteland here. We know they're not drawing a land at least. I'm drawing Ponder, which would have flipped my Delver. Good times. They're casting Brainstorm. I think maybe I cast Brainstorm in response. We know the DRC was on top before. There's a Wasteland. Okay, so that was lucky. Maybe they daze here, I don't know. Okay. So problem here is we have just like mono 1-drops. So if they just are able to keep a 1-drop on top, then we're sort of going nowhere fast. But I do get to flip my Delver here, which is nice. So I'm just gonna put a copy of Ponder and a copy of Brainstorm on top. So we know one card. Okay, so that is the Wasteland. Interesting. They didn't find a red source. That's pretty big. Yes, I will reveal, sorry. And I don't think I'll be casting a 1-drop. I feel it's pretty reasonable to expect them to have a 1-drop on top. Okay. I think I'm gonna actually test the waters with this Brainstorm here. And if it gets countered, it's unfortunate, but yeah, okay. So that's another uncastable card they're drawing. I think maybe I fetch to draw blind. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll draw a Predict or a Murktide. But then I probably should have fetched end of turn, right? I'll take the Brainstorm. I can sort of do the same play. And also, like, I don't want to predict away the DRC. I want them to draw that. Okay. I'm just going to pass here. And I don't know. Do we, like, cast a Brainstorm here and risk them having a Brainstorm in response? I think if they had a Brainstorm, they would have cast it just to, like, dig for a land. I think I am going to cast the Brainstorm and sort of test the counterbalance one more time. Ugh, Hydroblast. Gross. There's a Pyroblast. That's interesting. So, Pyroblast can kill counterbalance. But I mean, they're not like they're not drawing lands, and they're not drawing like Delver. Okay, now I'm gonna do what I probably should have done a couple of turns ago and fetch the Thundering Falls. And see what we see here. See a Hydroblast of our own. I don't think we want that. They go to clean up, right? That's rough. Okay, I'm gonna attack first. I think I do just play the Delver here. Like, I think if we already get one spell through, which we are, but they also now find a red producing land. But we have Wasteland, so I mean it's gonna be a short-lived thing. I could cast Ponder here to try and set up my my second Delver. I could cast Dragon's Rage Chandler, but then they just Hydroblast that. Oh, yeah, tough. I mean, what else am I doing with my Ponder, right? I don't think, or with my mana here. I don't think I'm doing anything. Like I'm not gonna Pyroblast anything next turn or right on their turn cycle. If they fetch and play a Murktide, I think I probably Hydroblast it on my turn. Pyroblast it, I mean. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cast the Ponder while the Ponder is castable. Oh, is this a days? What is this? Or floating mana. Again, like we know they haven't gotten like brainstorming. We know all the cards that they've drawn in the last couple of turns. Okay. That's pretty good. I'm gonna draw the Murktide and then flip with Predict. Maybe I'm supposed to take the. I'm actually supposed to take the Volcanic, aren't I? Yeah. Make my land drop. Keep my options open. This Murktide's not doing anything in my hand. Okay. Here we go. They found something. Or they found the land. Lightning Bolt. So I certainly am going to wasteland this Volcanic, but we might just as well wait. Wait a little bit. Yeah, and like I would have loved to have a Volcanic Island now, but let's just attack first. And what do we do here? We can play the DRC, see what's on top of their deck, and then they Hydroblast it. If it's a 1-drop, it just gets countered. If it's not a 1-drop, they Hydroblast it. Then we can Pyroblast. Oh, we can't Pyroblast. Never mind. Because I only have 1 red mana because I'm a doofus. I could just try and get Murktide to stick here. A lot of things going on here. If I Murktide and they daze picking up their Volcanic, that's really bad. If I don't, I'll tell you what, I am actually going to cast Predict, targeting. It's so hard. Oh, this is difficult. Like I kind of want to predict myself to make sure if it resolves. Like I guess my opponent isn't going to be able to shuffle, so maybe I should just predict them. Also, I kind of want the Volcanic that's on top of my deck. Again, it's a play where they can daze. But I think actually, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to waste their Volcanic. Then I'm going to make a play here. And if they choose to daze, I'm going to play the Murktide probably. And if they choose to daze here, then they have no mana going in. No, screw it. I'm going to predict them. I would rather predict and draw my Volcanic here if I can. Let's see what the counterbalance reels. It reels Pyroblast, which they should probably be happy to let me. They do daze. Okay, I was gonna say like, aren't they just dead now? They're gonna draw Pyroblast, and yeah, then they're dead. Yeah. All right, cool. Whew. Off to a winning start. That's good. Let's jump into round number 2. On the draw for round number 2, we have a 1-lander, but with several relevant 1-drops. I'm going to keep. Opponent, meanwhile, mulligans to 6, and they found 6 they like. Okay. Another Volcanic Island deck. I hope it's not another mirror. That was like quite grueling. But we'll see. Also, if it is another Delver deck, then I'm kind of worried about this one lander. Love to draw a second land here. We don't. Okay, but we do draw Ponder. I think I get basic island here and cast Ponder. That's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna draw the Volcanic and then I'll draw Ponder next turn. Is this Bowmasters? Yes. Bowmasters it is. Okay. So I'm gonna bolt the Bowmasters and then I'm gonna cast Ponder. And if they want to daze the Ponder, I don't think I'm too upset about that. I think I like these cards, and I'm gonna put Lightning Bolt second from the top. I'm still worried about Wasteland, but Bolt at least, if I don't get Wasteland, it will answer a second Bowmaster. I am falling a little bit behind here. So I think next turn I probably need to cast Brainstorm to help find my third land. Delver, okay. And did they find a third land themselves? No, they're bobbling me though. So they know what's going to be up with that Delver. Oh, shoot. That was not good. I'm going to put away this Force of Negation and this Brazen Borrower. And what card do I send into a daze here? Probably like DRC. If it gets dazed, then the next DRC will have Delirium. And but yeah, this not finding a land is a problem. Our opponent also missed their land last turn. Yeah, it gets dazed. We don't pay. And let's pass. There's also a world where I just want to Molten Collapse there, yeah. Where I just want to cast Murktide next turn. Murktide would be a 7/7. And I can fight back if they have more counter magic. They have Murktide. And how big is it? 1, 2, 3. It's a 6/6. Think I force this. And then my Murktide is going to be an 8/8 next turn. If they fight back, yeah, okay. Alright. And they don't have days because they would have used it. And, ooh, yeah, Borrower. Forgot about that. Really would like to not get wastelanded here. Is this Bowmasters? Oh, that's how that works. I forgot. No, I thought it was. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm taking 10 here, and I'll be at 2. Yeah, no, that was a major misplay. I kind of had this in my head that it only killed stuff that was like 1 mana or less, but of course that's the artifact, the non-creature stuff it deals with. Ooh, yeah, that's tough beats there. I think I want kind of to board similarly to how I did last game. I don't know, the red blasts are maybe a little bit less, maybe only 2 red blasts because they are like I think maybe they only play like 3 Murktides, and I think like the fact that we can't point a blast at a sort of a Orcish Bowmasters is a little bit of a problem. Okay, so let's board out Force of Negation. Let's board out some number of Force of Wills. Let's keep all the dazes though. Oh, that's gonna take some getting over. Like playing straight into the card I knew. Think I will. I'll cut a predict, yeah, because it's a Bowmasters game and they'll have blasts, but it's still good. I don't know. Keep one predict. And I think I cut the last Force of Will, or the second to last Force of Will. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, let's see if we can recover from that. That's not great. Oof, this is also not great. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, I'll keep this. And probably bottom the Murktide. You could make an argument for the bauble, but I also think like getting Delirium on is pretty important. And I think we can find a threat at some point. Okay, so they're drawing a bauble. I'm gonna fetch Basic Island here and cast Ponder. And I don't expect them to have Basic Island, so they're said, whoa. So hang on, all of these cards will be in my hand by the time I can cast the first one. I I kind of like that. This might be completely insane, but yeah, between the bauble draw and the fact that we can protect it with Daze, I kind of am into it. Like I like Daze a Bowmasters. Missing our second land drop is going to be a little bit rough. I suppose actually, hang on, did I just miss the trick here? Should I just have dazed that DRC? Hmm. I think we need to daze the incoming Bowmasters that I'm certainly expecting at any point. Now I just I want to flip Delver, but I also really would like another land. Well, no Bowmasters this turn at least. That was in their upkeep. Oh, because no, I'm not sure about. I understand that. I think I'll trade if they offer it here. They didn't. Wow, and they missed their land drop. Come on, Wasteland. Mishra's Bauble. Gross. Um, so I can choose between Hydroblasting their DRC or casting a second Delver. I think I'm gonna attack first, and I think I am actually just gonna go for the second Delver. They daze. Okay, so here I'm actually really happy. I'm gonna daze back, and I get to replay my island and do a second thing. And I think it's gonna be third Delver. And I'm gonna use the bauble to increase my chances of flipping. So we know they're not drawing a land here because they missed their land drop last turn. So they have their volcanic island, I guess. And let's see if they have like a bolt or something. And they have a Delver. Okay. All right. So let's bauble ourselves. And that's a DRC. So we're gonna draw with bauble and then trigger Delver. That means that the Delver triggers have to go on the stack first. First in, last out. So we draw the DRC and come on, big money. Let's flip. Predict, yes. Okay, so let's just attack here. Not going to Hydroblast first because if they have interaction, they can then get a Surveil trigger and they might get Delirium and be able to block here. I think actually I'm just not going to Hydroblast because again, like if they have a Daze, that helps them increase the chances of flipping Delver and maybe it gets them the Delirium here. So yeah, let's just pass. They do have Brainstorm, so they are going to flip the Delver. And they found a Wasteland on top, so that's very nice of them. Do I Hydroblast now? They have to attack, so it's not like it's going to be back as a blocker. Maybe I just rather save my Hydroblast for like if they have a bolt for one of my Delvers. Or yeah, for one of my insectile aberrations. Delver flips, revealing Ponder. Okay. Do they also have like Force of Will or Daze or whatever? Okay, but they're just pondering here. Now I don't mind. I don't know. Do I mind? They can't hold it back to block anyways. No, let's just. So they'll be taking 6 at least, and if I can hit a land here, I can just bolt them to death, right? They would need counter magic to back that up, which they could have for sure. They chose to not shuffle. Go on land. It's not a land. Days could well be relevant though. So they're forced to block here. And I think I'm just going to pass with my Hydroblast Daze thing here. If they have third land into Murktide, that they're still dead. So they need some good stuff here, I think. Something that removes like both creatures. Or like remove one and then also have a blocker. A Pyroblast. It's a little bit dangerous for me to give them the opportunity to daze because it gets them another mana if, but I still think it's I am gonna do that. Okay, that's countered. Are they just dead? So now to win the game on the draw, I think daze obviously becomes a little bit worse. Maybe if second force is better. I don't know. Is there anything else here that is obvious? The second price of progress, or the second predict, or the third daze? Maybe the brazen borrower. I don't know. Like it's another thing that dies to bowmasters, and like it doesn't bounce bowmasters, or I can, but that's not what you want to be doing, right? Um, maybe the third pyroblast. Yeah, maybe the third pyroblast. How about that? Like they do still play Delver of Secrets and oh bummer. Yeah, and Murktides, and we have to mulligan, and we are gonna keep. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom one of the fetch lands. Volcanic Island, Ponder Shuffle, and then I'm gonna wasteland. Okay, they had the Delver though. So can you ever afford to like start wastelanding them when they're ahead on board? I don't think so. If they miss their land drop this coming turn, I am gonna reconsider that. But all right, so they bobble to ensure or at least assist the flipping of the Delver. So top card didn't help. Top card didn't help them. How about this second from the top? That didn't flip it either. Okay. Okay, so they had more lands. DRC, right on. Get it on with your bad self. So I'm thinking I'm gonna surveil off of Thundering Falls here at end of turn, and then I think I'm interested in like bolting Delver or sorry DRC. I'll also start like to find a threat myself. I think I put this into the graveyard. Yeah, Red Blast is good. I am gonna fire off the bolt right now. Okay, they're fetching. If they have Hydroblast and I Red Blast back, I risk getting like blown out. They have Spell Pierce. Okay, I think I do fight back though. But I do run the risk of this running right into a daze. And that they did have the daze, yikes, okay. That's too bad. Okay, so I can't pay for daze. Thing is dazed. And I have went from having 2 removal spells against their 2 creatures to having no removal spells, and they still have their 2 creatures. So that felt pretty disastrous. They didn't flip it though. Interesting. Counterbalance. Okay. So we have to beat a counterbalance. They leave the card on top. I really hope it's not a Murktide Regent, because that is, I think, what I'm going to attempt. And it looks like they're missing their land drop here. I'm sorry if you can hear some drilling going on. I'm at home right now, and some person is using a power drill somewhere. Okay. So let's try this. I'm going to be so upset if they have a Murktide on top. I mean, I think in that case, it's really well played that they didn't put it into the graveyard off the Surveil from before. So maybe because they paused on that Surveil trigger from the counterbalance. So maybe they decided, like, what was on top was either like a land and they want another land, but they don't want, like, it's not going to flip Delver. Or they thought, okay, it's going to flip Delver, but I really don't want it. That kind of thing. I'm just trying to work out if I should be able to, like, use my Bolt or Brainstorm here, but probably not, so I'm just going to pass. Okay, Stifle. Yeah, I could see why you wouldn't want that. Stifle has a target right now. Yeah, I'm just going to float some mana here. And if they attack, I'm not going to do anything here. Okay, so they have Stifle plus Unknown card. So what I'm going to play the Wasteland here. If it happened to, like, be Daze or something. I think I'm going to start off with Delver and see if they have a 1-drop. If they Brainstorm in response. Oh, they have land. Excellent. Never didn't. Never worried. Etc. and so on. Okay, so they're casting a spell here. They're dazing to get the surveil. Oh no! And here I get punished for. Oh, that's so gross. I get so punished, like, because I had auto yielded on the DRC triggers. I was supposed to, like, trigger or respond to the surveil trigger to use my 1-drops. Yeah, gross. Okay, so Delver is going to be in here. I'm gonna pass priority. And then I'm gonna attack with my Murktide because their hand is Stifle plus a land, so it's not Lightning Bolt. Oh, I feel so dumb for that. Yeah. Now, what are the odds that it's not a 1-drop? Probably not that high. I still think I bolt Delver here. Wait, is that going to give Delirium to the thing? Yeah, that's just going to give DRC Delirium, so I'm going to bolt DRC. Watch me lose to a 1-drop here. Okay, that's good. That means they can bounce my Murktide, which is not good. But I think it also means they aren't going to... Oh, I was going to say they're not going to flip Delver. Never mind, that's not how that works. If they play Petty Theft here on my Murktide, then I can Wasteland through their Stifle. And let's see if my Delver flips. Yep, that is bounced. That will be back at some point. We know their hand is Stifle. I think they'll have to draw, like, a fetch land or something. But I also like to flip Delver. Okay, Delver flips off of Pyroblast. What are the odds that they would have 3 non-1-drops? So, and what card would I rather lose to test here? Probably the Brainstorm? Yeah, let's try this out. What's on top of your deck? Oh, Wasteland! I love you. So we can just do whatever we want here, right? They're going to draw Wasteland. And they're gonna waste one of our volcanics, so the Murktide is not gonna factor in here, I don't think. So I'm gonna put back Murktide and a Ponder, and I'll draw a Ponder next turn, and then I can surveil Murktide into the graveyard, which still doesn't give me Delirium though. And now I feel pretty ahead. They would, like, heads up, need to like stifle my surveil trigger, I think, because like in either case, the Ponder is going to be in the graveyard if it gets countered or not by counterbalance, and the surreal trigger is going to happen and put Murktide into the graveyard. Let's see here. They have been kind of unfortunate with their counterbalance flips. There is a 1-drop. It's a Pyroblast, so that's going to kill my Delver. And then we're sort of in the shit. They're going to be at 4, so they, I think, probably have to hold back on Delver attacking to trade with my DRC. But we still know about the Stifle, which means if we can resolve this Pyroblast on their Delver, it's like, then it's looking really good. I'd love to draw land to test the waters with the Ponder. Yeah. I don't know. Do I just go for the gold here and like Pyroblast the Delver? If it gets countered, then maybe like next turn I can resolve DRC. Obviously, the nightmare is that they flip showing like a lightning bolt or something. It's a lot of difficult decisions here, I think. I think I'm gonna attack because I cannot undelirium my DRC right now. So that's gonna happen anyways. I don't think it's ever gonna be an option for them not to block. And then I'm gonna try and play my second DRC. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if they have a 1-drop on top, they don't. That's big. I think that means they. Well, I mean, they could still win because they draw land and then they go to 1, and then they can't fetch though. No, never mind. I think they lose. But if the top of their deck right now is like a lightning bolt or a hydroblast, then we're still playing. Come on, land. It's not a land. I'm not gonna cast Ponder, I don't think. I'm just gonna see where this takes us. Alright, what you do, what you get. Blue mana is being tapped. Oh, there we go. Ponder. But that doesn't matter. Yeah, you can Ponder. You're dead. Like, their last card in hand is the Stifle. They can't use their fetch land, so no matter what happens off this Ponder. Yeah, come on. 2 Delver Mirrors and 2-0, and I even made a horrific punt in game 1 of this. I will make the point that and just to, let's just feel good about myself, kind of a humble brag, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just silly. But on evidence here, I said I didn't like counterbalance that much, and I've beaten both players that had counterbalance out against me, and I know they got unlucky, but that's also kind of how counterbalance works. It's not to say it's not great, or it can't be great. It can be great, but I just how I think my opponent is feeling right now is how I have felt on the other end of this when I've had counterbalance and lost with it in play after it didn't like counter a single spell or maybe counter one spell. And remember, if counterbalance counters one spell, that's still sort of card neutrality. You've not gained anything because it caught the counterbalance is a card itself. Anyways, off to round number 3. Round number 3 on the play. Let's go. No. Mulligan. Can't play any cards. Yes, much better. I will keep. I will bottom the... I'll probably bottom the Ponder, actually. It's between that and Murktide, I think. And yeah, I don't know. I like having a second threat coming up. And they both pitched to force. I'm getting some selection with my DRC anyways. So, all right, let's go. I'm also like I hope I can finish this league recording in one session. You all won't mind in either case because the video will be the video. But yeah, like I had like not an amazing amount of time. I have like an hour and a half when I started recording, and or a little bit more. I think like an hour and 40 minutes. And of course, my first two rounds are like Delver mirrors, and I ended up playing for like almost an hour. I think between the two rounds. I think I don't want the second land. That maybe is a bit dangerous, but yeah. I also don't know if I'm supposed to bobble now or bobble in their upkeep when it's like a completely blind opponent. If we bobble now and we hit Force of Will, then we have a hand that's Force plus Daze. And that's going to be great if our opponent is a combo deck. Anything else, I don't mind. And if it's like a Reanimator deck, I would actively rather, like a Scaminator deck rather, I would actively rather have my draw happen on my next turn. But I think I am actually going to I am gonna bobble them in my turn. Yeah, let's see what we're up against. Don't show me grief. Could be anything. Could be a third Delver matchup. That would kind of suck. At least because of the time thing I was talking about. Okay, I draw my counterbalance. Hey, I didn't mean any of the things I was saying. Don't even worry about it. Okay. Another Murktide. It's a little bit heavy here. I think I do cast the counterbalance. If they daze here, they're set back a land, and I'm up like a creature and two lands, so there's 0 permanence. And it also gets my DRC closer to Delirium. It gets me a Surveil right now. Okay, they brainstorm. Do I daze here? I don't daze here. It's tempting though. Yeah, let's put that one into the graveyard. And we almost have Delirium here. Just need to cast an instant. Now I think I will daze if they fight over this. Okay. That didn't happen. Dragon's Rage Chandler is just in a normal frame of mind and is not delirious. So now I will get to try and blind flip goofball my opponent, and let's see if that pays off. Well, like counterbalance is a lot better when you also have DRC though, but yeah. Excuse me. All right, what is this tropical island strategy going for? Is it perhaps a beanstalk deck? Just land go. Oh, never mind. Okay, I will I suppose just yield here. I will use counterbalance's ability, and I reveal a Murktide Regent. Off, get out, get off, get out, get away with this. Three Murktides, please. Maybe they get emboldened here and cast like a second 1-drop, and I will daze that, get rid of that Murktide, and yeah, I think for sure. Though it does kind of suck because they're a beanstalk deck, I think. So maybe the daze is going to be worth more. But I really don't want to draw the third Murktide. Put you into the graveyard. I'm guessing the brainstorm just gets countered here, but so I'm not going to reveal to counterbalance. Okay. Delirium achieved. 2 Murktides in hand. That seems good. Thundering Falls. Less so, but I'm going to use it. And I'm probably going to keep DRC on top. Because I wouldn't hate having a second DRC in play, and it's a 1-drop for like plow. And if they like leyline bind my DRC. I have another Leyline Binding. Oh, it's Saga strategy. How interesting. 3 mana. What's this? Is this Teferi? Okay, Teferi is in. Teferi probably has to bounce DRC. Alright, let's replay DRC. And let's play one more. And I do feel like the game is slipping away from me now. I think we need luck on the counterbalance flips now. We need like to counter like plowshares or whatever. I don't know if this would be the sort of deck that has main deck Supreme Verdict. So I do kind of wonder if I'm supposed to like watch how much I commit. Shuko. Oh. Shuko. So it's Cephalid Breakfast splashing green. How interesting. I guess I'm gonna use the counterbalance and not get rewarded, so they can just win right now if they have Illusionist. So I'm gonna trigger Delta into the graveyard, Delver into the graveyard, and the question is, do I kill Teferi, or do I just go for the win? I think I just go for beats here because I don't have what do you call it, a counter spell anyways. So like whether or not they have Teferi, I'm kind of just dead to their combo, and they didn't have it last turn. Now is the question though. I would really love to play Murktide Regent, and I would also really love to not lose Delirium, but I can't if I want my Murktide to grow at all. So maybe I take these lands, I take the Bauble, and I take whatever, a creature. And then I have a 3/3 Murktide, but then the next Murktide can grow. Oh wait, no, yeah, it's because of the Bauble. I was just like, wait, I wasn't supposed to lose Delirium, but oh fuck me. They have womp womp. Okay. Please somehow shuffle your deck. Or maybe they know about it. I'm a little bit unsure about when there was a shuffle last turn. So now it doesn't matter. They get to win. I'm just going to see their deck. Oh, wait, I have a chance. So if there's a predict on top or a daze, I forgot. Counterbalance. Come on, buddy. I am going to use it. No! Okay. All right. Let's just yield to this. Actually, in the interest of my sanity and my time, I think I might just not make my opponent go through all this. It would be kind of nice to learn if there is like a Stoneforge package in this deck. And I'm assuming the green means either Veil of Summer or that Memory's Journey tech. There's a Cabal Ritual. 22 cards left in the deck. Not seeing Stoneforge Mystic so far. Beginning to feel like it's probably pretty safe to assume it's not in the deck. There's Nomads. Okay, screw it. I am just going to wait now. We're so close. 3 days, though. Okay, so they do play days. There's the Dread Return and the Thassa's Oracle. There is the Memory's Journey. All right. Yep. What is that target? Target's Oracle. That's a 4-drop. Still a Brainstorm on top. Okay. Cool. Well, I mean, Counterbalance didn't really pay off there, but on the other hand, it did end up, like, being the one chance I might have had. Grafdigger's Cage seems good. Surgical seem relevant. At least some number of red blasts. Maybe all 3. Do I want like a Price of Progress here? Probably not. Maybe, because I really like the card. And it's kind of sweet. Let's board out the Force of Negation. I also actually really don't like the counterbalance. I'm going to board it out. I think also Brazen Borrower can come out. What else? Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat can go. Maybe like goofing around with predicts and gaining card advantage is not the solution here. I don't know. What are the last cuts? It's not unreasonable to assume that they are boarding in like plows and stuff. They could also just remain like more focused on their combo package. I think I am gonna cut one bauble and I don't know, maybe one of the blasts. Is that silly? I don't know how, like the price of progress. I mean, I know I was just like, oh, because I love the card, but I do also think like they are a Nurse Saga 3-colored deck. I think it's not unreasonable for them to have like some number of non-basics out. And I'm gonna keep this. We'll get to test it. This is a pretty sweet hand. At least if their plan is still to combo with the Cephalid Illusionist. Ponder, sure. Not gonna daze that. I'm gonna predict myself, I think, and get the gravy train going here. They shuffle. Love that. Don't love that they led on a basic though. But maybe I'll do the same to soften the blow of Wasteland later and also not to show them the Wasteland. You know, you're perfectly safe with me to just, you know, fetch non-basics. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? No! No! I misclicked! Oh, okay. Well, you're getting your money's worth here, folks. Yay, why don't I just deal myself 2 and you none and get a surveil? I mean, that's value, right? Oh my god. What a misclick. Well, I mean, let's see if I can come back from having mulliganed a card starting the game at 18 life and being tapped out on turn 2. Sometimes I disgust myself. All right, they brainstorm. Brainstorm to your heart's content, my friend. All right, looks like they're doing something here. Basic island. I am gonna daze. They can daze back, you know, that's certainly a thing. Gonna put Misty into the graveyard here. Okay, they didn't daze back. I felt like they had daze, but they might just have been taking the time to click through the daze. Okay, that's nice. This Murktide is nice. All right, I'm gonna try what I wanted to do last game. And surgical on top. This kind of sucks to show them the surgical and to get rid of it here, but I do have an extra one in my hand. Still haven't shown them wasting. All right, the fact that they also have basic planes makes me feel slightly worse about the price of progress, like that tech. So maybe I'm just not supposed to board it in. Third basic, okay. And is this Teferi? Yeah, okay. This is Teferi. He bounces our friend. I'm gonna bolt Teferi. And oh, I was lucky to draw another land. In that case, I'm going to play out the DRC first to get an extra surveil. And ponder into the graveyard probably. Okay, Teferi's gone. We have a surgical right now as our only line of defense, but they also have no combo piece in play. If they go like Illusionist Nomad, Worms Chant, shit. I guess we're just dead. All right, GG's opponent. Well, that was certainly a bit of a catastrophe, but I'm not sure it really ended up mattering. I guess like I would have cast the predict, gotten myself like one turn earlier ahead of Steam here, but like the price progress certainly shouldn't have been in the deck. All right, tune 1 off to round number 4. Okay, on the draw for round number 4, I'll keep this. It's a one-lander, but I think with plenty of room to maneuver here. Oh, opponent is on mulligan to 5. Interesting. Scalding Tarn, huh? Okay, I think I'm gonna run the risk of of the Wasteland and Ponder. Maybe that's dumb. Maybe I'm gonna regret this. Yeah, because like, okay, never mind. I am gonna have DRC to trigger the predicts next turn. This is gonna be a little bit surveil land action going. Basic island, I guess not. Troll. Okay, so it's a scam deck. Cool, cool. Scam deck that mulled to 5. If they just reanimate here, okay, animate dead's good. That means my daze is live. If they daze back, I think I probably force. Okay, never mind. It didn't. And I think there was a brazen borrower underneath this DRC. I don't mind drawing that if I'm remembering correctly. I'm gonna force a Bowmasters here, if they have one, to save my DRC. That looks like what is about to happen. Oh, it's another troll there. So it's gonna be a 5/5 troll. Can I beat that? I think I have to force. I'll force pitch one of the predicts. I will put this into the graveyard to get towards Delirium, which I think is like, I think because of them having to mulligan the 5, I think we might get away with this. Like, we'll see. They choose not to shuffle though. But I am going to be delirious right now. I'm going to cast Predict. Target myself. See if they feel like dazing this. I'm going to leave the Brainstorm on top. Brainstorm. Drew another Force. That's kind of nice. Now, like, a Murktide would be an ideal draw. Okay. Just land, go. No hard cast Grief. Another Brainstorm. So I think I am going to Brainstorm. I'm going to attack first, but then I'm going to Brainstorm, and because I really like to get rid of these 2 lands, and then I can then I can fight over a Bowmasters if they were to have one. No, I would like to draw Murktide. Please and thank you. They have Bowmasters. I'm going to force. Still going to leave Murktide on top. Get rid of these 2 lands. And then I'm actually gonna cast the Bowmaster or the Murktide. If their last card in hand is Daze, then it's Daze. Okay, let's see here. We have one sorcery, but many. Okay, never mind. They concede, but I was gonna say many instants. Okay. So they are playing. I don't think Price Progress comes in here. They are playing like a fast clock and more basics than me. I think the Pyroblasts, maybe 2 can come in. And maybe like a Brazen Borrower, and maybe like Grafdigger's Cage and a Surgical. I'm not sure if this is the full scam deck, like this, or the full Scaminator deck, or just normal scam. Let's board out Force of Negation. Probably even can board out like a Wasteland or 2. I think maybe that's something I should have done versus the other Delver decks, or at least considered. I'm not sure, but like Wasteland always seems, well, quite often seems a little bit weak in the Delver mirror. Okay, I'm gonna board out 2 Dazes. If this is like an Entomb Reanimate deck, I don't want to skimp too heavily on my counter spells. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. See how well we do. This doesn't seem very good. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. Enough, no lands, down to 5. Alright, I'm gonna keep this and bottom a bauble and a land. And they kept 7, so the shoe's on the firmly on the other foot here. They grief. Yep. So right now they're down a card. And they have Wasteland. Okay. Interesting. I guess they're going to cycle the troll, would be my guess. Draw the card they just discarded for me. I mean, I think they are going to cycle troll right now, so probably my if I had played Volcanic, it would have been safe-ish. But do I think I can like reasonably race this? So they're going to take 6, go to 14. And then like what happens if I brainstorm, there will be 3 cards in the graveyard. If I can like if I could resolve like let's say a 5/5 Murktide this turn, like my coming turn here, they would be 14. Then they attack me down to 13 because of the fetch. Then I attack them down to 9. And then they attack me down to 7. And then I attack them down to 4. They attack me down. Then I just about don't lose, but I think I'm actually no, I think I'm gonna force this. Yeah, yeah. I think I feel okay about that. Okay, so they're gonna waste me here, and then they're gonna daze the force. That's the only way this makes sense. And then they have him. They have their thing, and then we'll just have to. So now yeah. I guess DRC is not the worst thing to pick up here. Like if I can next turn, if I can find a ponder that finds me a land kind of thing, but we'll see. They're coming in hot here, and I am not even close to delirium. Sorry, it's hard word for me to say for some reason. Is there any reason to keep playing here? I guess like I could still hit like what do you call it? I could still hit something like a brazen borrower and turn it around, but it seems unlikely. If they discard me here, I'm gonna not show them the Grafdigger's Cage. They could also have now they're like the Bowmasters is on brazen borrower. Nope. Okay. Well, let's see. Brazen borrower on top here. Nope. Gonna predict that into the or predict surveil that away. I'm gonna I guess I could just like bobble myself, but it doesn't matter if I know or not know that it's coming. So I'm gaining more from this. Okay. There's Animate Dead coming over there. And that's great. Great for them. Or not so great. I need to hit the borrower right now on this bobble draw. And I don't. Okay. Alright. I want more dazes and possibly like the third surgical. I think maybe I just completely cut the red blasts. I don't even know that there is any reason for me to have them, come to think of it. And what's the last cut? I think it's a third wasteland. This is becoming a little bit like of a criminal thing for me to do because like now I'm at 15 lands, and that's I think probably like running close to how well like what the deck can actually operate with. But just in terms of like paying for their days and whatever. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna keep this. I don't have any interaction, but I have lands and creatures and spells. Let's play the Delver. I think I'd rather play Delver here than cast a Ponder. Underground Sea, Ponder Shuffle. Yes. Yes. Come on, Shuffle. Shuffle. My one Wasteland. That's actually kind of funny here. They do not shuffle. Okay, but I still think I'm gonna waste here. I'm ahead, especially if I flip. Come on, flippity flop. No, no flippity flop. Could play DRC, but I'm more into like wasting them and ensuring Delver flips next turn. Yeah. What am I most interested in them knowing about? Probably. I'll probably put Predict into my hand here. And, you know, if they grief me, they don't see the Unholy Heat, but then they see it next turn. I don't know. Another Under NC. And Tomb. Okay. That's a problem. I'm not gonna lie. It's a big problem. Yes, I will reveal. And I guess I am going to ponder here, looking for Force of Will or Surgical Extraction or Grafdigger's Cage. I find none of the above. Oh, I find Force of Will. How lucky. I'm not going to play DRC because then we lose 2 days. They know about Unholy Heat. They don't know anything else about her hand. So let's hope this Force of Will is going to be good enough. I am concerned. They have Wasteland. Oh no. Force of Will, Pitch, Predict. You have Days, anything. Yeah, they have Days. Fuck. Well, Atraxis in play. And I am just about ready to scoop here. Yeah, I am going to scoop. Damn. Yeah, too good. All right, 2-2. Let's see if we can get a positive record. Okay. On the draw for the final round, I am going to keep this hand. It's missing a threat, but it has some interesting and fine spells. Okay, I've had like this is a mono like blue decks league. I can't remember last time I had that. Okay, here's a delighted halfling that's gonna eat a lightning bolt next turn. And I am gonna do this before, like, without putting like waiting a turn for DRC to get value, because I'm quite concerned what they might be able to do next turn. Like, it could be Teferi rendering my like forces completely dead. If they have Ancient Tomb, it could be like the One Ring or something. So, okay, sure. They tapped green mana for that Lauren revealed. I was like, is another? Please not another halfling. Okay, this looks like a beanstalk deck of some sort. Okay. I honestly think I just play the Footfalls, or the Thundering Falls here. Tapped to get my Surveil. Maybe I do that first. Let's put that Volcanic into the graveyard. I am ready to snap off Days on this, on a potential plow. They have one. I mean, let's put the bauble into the graveyard, and I guess I'll take a brainstorm. Get back into double force capacity. Minsk and Boo, huh? So 4 colors at least. They are just passing. Missed their land drop. Here is where like a wasteland would be amazing. I'm gonna brainstorm here. No risk of Orcish Bowmasters to be seen anywhere. I think I put this into the graveyard, and that means Delirium as well. They are pausing here with my brainstorm on the stack. So we could put like double cantrips on top here and then ensure multiple flips of the Delver. I'm not sure though. That's going to change if at any point in the next 2 turns I have to cast a Force of Will. Maybe we just put like no, yeah, let's put the 2 cantrips, because then like then I can force, and I'm still gonna like flip Delver next turn. Like even if I want to surveil, I don't know. It looks like they're just still like stuck on lands. That's unfortunate for them. Unfortunate for me. And let's attack here. I think I kind of just send the third Delver, to be honest. It's a difference of, I guess it doesn't change the clock right now, but it means like if they fetch, it changes the clock, or force. I still have double force here, and it's not looking like they're getting to Supreme Verdict, which I think is the only thing that meaningfully should dissuade me. Okay, there's a third land. So now if they run another land here and it's not a fetch land, but it makes white mana, and they have Supreme Verdict in hand, then they can win. But let's just, oh, they're doing something here. Leyline Binding. I think I let this happen, and I can have a little think over if I want to petty theft it. But I think I'd rather actually ponder or go looking for a wasteland. Those aren't wastelands. I'm gonna shuffle. And I guess I cast Brainstorm here. I'm not worried about days out of them. Yeah, let's put back these two red cards, eh? And yeah, we have like double force plus a daze. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Yeah. You know what? I don't think so. All right. And we see their hand. Uh Interesting. All right. So for this matchup, I definitely want Price of Progress. Finally. I think we should be interested in maybe one or two Pyroblasts and like Hydroblast for Minskin Boo. And maybe not that much else. Like Submerge, probably not. Like if I'm submerging an Uro, that's still like that has sort of cost me already. I think I board out Unholy Heat, probably a couple of dazes. Um, I don't know. Lightning Bolt, I probably want. I don't know about Counterbalance, as I have not really felt good about Counterbalance this whole league. Uh, and also like Force of Negation, like they shown us the One Ring, which is a very force of negatable target. Uh, is there anything I'm so obvious I'm missing here? I am gonna take out Counterbalance. Like, what am I gonna flip to counter a Leyline Binding, huh? Yeah. Their Counterbalance deck, they probably have Murktide, so maybe like a second Pyroblast is not the worst. But for now, I'm gonna try this. Try this on for size and see how it fits. Yeah, this seems like a keepable hand. Double days on the draw is a little bit. Oh, it's a Yurion strategy. I didn't even notice. All right, same procedure as last year. Like double days on the draw, not great. At the same time, though, like we are up against a deck that probably is going to be like just chock full of dazeable targets. Nothing else happens next turn. We can like double Delver. I will daze a Beanstalk here, or oh, Carpet. Yeah, Carpet is big money here versus us. They're not triggering it, so they don't have currently something they feel good about playing. All right, let's double Delver up here. Carpet triggers, they make red mana. Okay. I think I probably have to double daze this Minskin Boo if it is indeed a Minskin Boo. Oh, Comet. Maybe I'm a little bit less worried about Comet. I don't know. So they can make squirrel tokens. They can deal equal to number of loyalty counters to a creature or player. I think I probably am gonna double daze the old Comet. What an interesting artwork. Sarcasm may occur. Okay, they had force. I am now kind of in the shitter with no lands and stuff. But what they roll? They rolled a 2. Okay. Then they don't attack. Come on, flip. Yes. Do I need to kill Comet? Probably, right? Maybe I'm supposed to ponder first, like in case I find something like a lightning bolt. I mean, not that I would then be able to cast it, but then that might change what I feel like doing in terms of my attacks. Yeah, I think Murktide is a good draw here. Let's see if they can roll 6s. The 6 is where they get 2 more like activations, and they don't trigger it. Okay, what did they roll? They rolled 2. Okay. So now they have like a meaningful board presence at least. I am at 14. They just ship it here. Okay. So they could have, what could they have that would be like devastating for me if I only send one of the insectile aberrations to Comet? They could have like endurance. That would be very, very bad in a multitude of ways. If they have a plow, I can force it. I think I am gonna to have a chance at winning the race here. I am gonna split the attackers. It is a risky play, but I do have like things I can do over here. Not if it's like not if it's an endurance. Endurance would need me to predict into a force of will. They have solitude. Okay, well, I am gonna predict, and I'm gonna name Scalding Tarn here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I'm gonna lose the thing attacking Comet, and I'm gonna gain a little bit of life. I mean, next turn we can make a really big Murktide, but it's not looking too good. Like this army of squirrels is becoming an issue, and they are maybe triggering it now. The carpet, yeah. Okay. Hopefully this is like Lauren revealed or something, and we can force negation that. If it's not a creature, I'm forcing this. I think. Oh, they put Yorion into hand. Sure. Okay. What do you get here? So they get more squirrels. Is there a way out of this for me? Is the question. Also, how many price of progresses did I board in? Both, right? Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. What to do here? I think I. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to wasteland the tundra? No, they have the carpet. Yeah, they have the carpet. Next turn, they're gonna. Actually, yeah. If I wasted the tundra or one of their lands, then the carpet only triggers for 2. Then they can't cast Yorion, which is probably what we're gonna lose to here. I'm gonna make my Murktide play. I'm gonna make it big, and then I think I'm just gonna ignore Comet. I think we're beyond that. And like I can, like if they fetch here, then I actually have lethal on the board. If yeah, Comet. Okay, let's see here if they can kill one of my creatures or. Okay, yeah, is that how that works, right? Oh, you deal 4, so they deal 4 to Delver probably, right? That's the way it works. Deals combat even no, to a creature or player. Why didn't they? Did they deal 4 to me? What happened? Sorry, I'm just trying to work this out. They rolled a 3. They removed loyalty counters. Then they returned Flooded Strand. Oh, it's a 3. I'm looking at the 4 or 5. I'm sorry, never mind. So they rolled what was like ideally, or the best thing that could happen for me. Okay. They are sending in the army of squirrels. I am blocking one. They probably cast Yorion here, I would assume. I mean, if they have another, like if they have a Leyline, I guess Leyline Binding I can force. But if they have another Solitude, I'm kind of screwed here. So Yorion doesn't really gain any value here, and I can bounce her. Hopefully they aren't sitting on like a Veil of Summer or something. Lightning Bolt? Force of Will, okay. That is the play, right? Yeah, I think so. If they Force of Will this, I win, right? Because I can force back and it will cost them a life. But now I can't Force of Will if if I send in both creatures. Because maybe I'm even supposed to just send in the Murktide. Because then I can block. And if they like with Stellar Pup, if they roll 1 or a 2 or a 4 or a 5, I lose if I send in the insect. I might lose anyway if they roll a 4 or a 5. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think I do waste the Tundra here. At least make them think about Lightning Bolt. But I guess if I had Lightning Bolt, I would have attacked with both creatures. So maybe that's sort of a non sequitur. Okay, big deal here. What do they roll? They roll a 3. So again, they are punished. Yeah. Poor Comet. Alright, I do block 1 here. And I can Force of Will. I'm pretty sure they have to make the Yorion play here. So hopefully they don't have Veil of Summer. If they didn't have it before, I guess they would have probably used it. Force of Will doesn't do it here. Flusterstorm does it. Hey, we got it. We got the positive record. Got 3 and 2. I really enjoyed playing this deck. I was a lot more fun than I expected. Really close matches, I think, in a couple of cases, and I made some really bad mistakes. But I also, I think, had a couple of games where I really felt like I made some decent plays. And you know, the Delver Mirror is certainly like there's a lot of game to that. Yeah, we lost to the Breakfast deck, and that felt a little bit annoying, and I felt like I misboarded boarding in the price of progress. But basically, we lost to 2 graveyard combo decks where the Scamander deck, like, obviously did its thing. I feel like in the game 3, I boarded in all my graveyard interaction, and that would have helped if I had it, but ultimately I just didn't, and they had the Entomb reanimate on Atraxa. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I kind of dig like going back to Blue Red Delver, to be honest. So I like in terms of what Delver shells are available, I think this has been completely underplayed for months and months now, and I think unjustly so. I think I'm gonna if I play this again, I'm gonna cut the counterbalance. In case you didn't notice, I'm not the biggest fan, and I wasn't convinced at all during this league. The couple of opponents that had it against me just lost with it in play for multiple turns, and I did the same when I had it in play. So I'm not convinced. But yeah, let me know what you think. And I think that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube stuff if you want, and I'll be back next Friday.